Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, this is Jesse with the Common Nerd, bringing you pop culture and all things right through a common sense lens. And you know, boys and girls, we love ourselves some rumor mill around here. And now that we know that there are a lot of reshoots going on with Marvel's Fantastic Four First Steps movie going on out there, well, that essentially confirms all of this to be basically be 100% true at this point. And it turns out test screenings have shown that the fans absolutely hated the ending of Fantastic Four First Steps, and it has thrown Marvel into an absolute tizzy trying to reshoot and rewrite this movie at the 11th hour, and it could spell and end up a disastrous dumpster fire, just like what we saw with Captain America Brave New World, and how much that movie ended up failing at the box office. We know that a lot of Marvel fans do not trust the company anymore with a lot of these properties and a lot of these stories, which is why you see so many failures when it comes to the box office on otherwise good movies, and the same thing with the streaming services on ratings on otherwise pretty decent shows. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we thought the ending leaks were bad before. Well, guess what? Our dear sweet Grace Randolph, of all people out there, have now confirmed what other people out there in our little corner of the internet have said out there as well. And boys and girls, no wonder, after you find out, you'll understand, no wonder that any way, shape, or form that fans were upset by this ending, because this thing looks like it might end up being a disastrous dumpster fire. And once again confirms that it's going to be more MCU going forward, and also confirms rumors that we covered almost 3 years ago, boys and girls, about this being a Sue-centric story. And it turns out it is exactly right. And even Grace Randolph herself is questioning the move by Marvel. So we're going to share this article from cosmicbook.news, getting all of the juicy details of exactly what these leaks are showing, and obviously spoilers ahead for anybody out there that doesn't want those kind of things. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe before you leave, but that is your fair warning right now. So boys and girls, before we do, if you do enjoy our content, like I just said, smash that like button and subscribe. We are inching our way closer and closer to 2K. I think we're like 4 subscribers from it. So please smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. Leave us a comment in the section down below. Do any of these endings surprise you? Does it surprise you at all that Fantastic Four, considering when it was developed, is completely and totally an MCU kind of movie centered around Sue herself? Or do you think this will actually, all of this is completely and totally false, and we'll end up getting a good, actually source material, loyal Fantastic Four movie? Let us know what you think about all that in the comment section down below. If you'd like to support the channel, please check out the links in the description as well, and consider becoming a member. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, from cosmicbook.news and our dear sweet Matt McGloin. Fantastic Four ending leak confirmed, and it's even worse. Horrifying, ladies and gentlemen, horrifying. We get an update about those Fantastic Four ending rumors where a second source confirms more of the same, and things are a lot worse than thought. Credit to YouTuber Doomcock, aka Overlord DVD, who is right again. The YouTuber also nailed claims Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny had its ending changed, which was confirmed by director James Mangold. Once again, Doomcock's got a pretty good track record out there, ladies and gentlemen, which is why people listen to him and why people report him. Yes, he's had some misses, he's had a lot of misses in the past, but he's also had a lot of successes. And that's why initially we didn't report on what just Doomcock said, but now we've got it confirmed by a second source, i.e. Grace Randolph. Well, in this case, I don't know. Either way, it's because of Grace Randolph. The second source happens to be YouTuber Grace Randolph, who happens to land on the opposite side of the spectrum than a lot of us. She's much more in fan. She much more tries to be like, she literally stopped watching The Last of Us Season 2 because she disliked it so much. And as a reviewer, she stopped watching it because she didn't want to say anything bad about the show. So yeah, she's literally access media to the 9. She is totally down for the spirit of the age and in bed with all of the studios. And even she questions some of this stuff. That's the wild part of that. So also, if she is saying this, it's true. It must be true. So you can, yeah. So if she's also saying it's true, you can bank on it. Once again, major spoilers of coming down the drain. Test screenings reportedly bomb, facing Marvel to reshoot Fantastic Four ending. Doomcock previously said that following test screenings, Marvel decided to hold emergency reshoots to change the ending. The YouTuber said the ending involved Sue Storm, the female Silver Surfer, and Galactus. Doomcock said the fans in the test screening didn't like it. Oh, color us shocked there. Sue's gonna save the whole universe. It's all gonna be about her because wham in power. How'd that work out for the Marvels and Black Girl Magic? I'm just curious. This syncs up with what Grace Randolph said in a recent video posted after Doomcock's first video. She said a recent test screening saw the fans vocal after it ended. While Randolph said the fans didn't boo, they basically did. As Randolph said that they were shouting, mid, mid, mid. And I mean, these are like, most of the time, these test screenings are like people that live, they live in like the Hollywood, Los Angeles kind of area, right? And according to Film Threats guys over there, that literally it's one of them situations where it's like the same people that go back over and over and over again. So it's one of them situations where these are the people that go to this all the time. This is the audience that you'd think they'd be catering to traditionally. And even they are coming out there shouting mid at the end of this. Yeah, that's never a good sign. That's not all. As Randolph said, Marvel executives were present who noticed the fan reaction. While the Hollywood Reporter just confirmed Kevin Feige was present at a secret screening of Fantastic Four: First Steps at Regal Long Beach along with director Matt Shakeham. Once again, confirming that yes, they indeed have these test screenings. All of this is lining up. We saw the leaked set photos from the reshoots. We know reshoots are happening. Boys and girls, all of this is basically 100% confirmed when it comes down to this. There's no reason for us in any way, shape, or form, based on everything else that has gone on, that there's any reason to doubt that any of this is true in any way, shape, or form. And like I said, once again, this is something that we have seen happen inside the Walt Disney Company before. We saw this with Lucasfilm, The Dial of Destiny. We saw this with Marvel, with Captain America, Brave New World. This is not out of the ordinary for them to do in any way, shape, or form. So let's see where we're at. Worth a mention is that following that test screening, it was announced that Feige and Marvel won't be attending the big San Diego Comic-Con in July, which happens to line up with the release of Fantastic Four. If they were so excited about how well their movie was going to do at the box office, why wouldn't they show up to San Diego Comic-Con? You know, the biggest event in the nerd sphere, especially and unfortunately when it comes to movies and televisions inside of that sphere. Wonder why they're not showing up. And of course, the spoilers aren't over yet, ladies and gentlemen. So Doomcock said the end of the Fantastic Four involves Sue Storm and the female Silver Surfer. Apparently they are either battling and or having a discussion. Probably doing both, boys and girls, because, of course, you know how it is with modern Marvel these days. It's all about sitting around talking about your feelings. Loki Season 2, anyone? Which causes the female Silver Surfer to turn on Galactus. Oh, yes, the power of sisterly love is going to change her heart and turn her on Galactus. Wow, could we get any more MCU at this point, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, gag me with a spoon. No wonder everybody was shouting mid at this ending. It's the same kind of nonsense that has caused Marvel to be in its current situation as it is right now. Like I said, how much money did the Marvels lose at the box office? Even though it's a team of one woman and three guys, I think you're going to have a situation at the end of the movie where it's women who save the day. And you're like, why? Why can't Reed at least be involved? You know, you're like, come on, man. You know, like, come on. Let's see what they decided to do. This is Grace Randolph confirming exactly what Doomcock said. That's the funny part about all of this. This is two sides. One person who wants all of this stuff to succeed. One person who wants this stuff to get better so it can succeed. But obviously, very much on very opposite sides of the spectrum. Like I said, Grace Randolph quit watching Last of Us Season 2 so she didn't have to criticize it because it got bad and she couldn't stand it anymore. So yeah. Doomcock also added a new video. The end of the Fantastic Four involves the female Silver Surfer made to look like a hero. Oh, color us shocked there. They're going to literally rip off Norman's story just to give it to the female. It's literally the male Silver Surfer story with a female in it. It's literally all of this nonsense all over again, just in their latest movie. Yeah, Hasn't worked out well for them for the past, I don't know, since Endgame. How do you think it's going to work out for them? If they keep anything even close to this ending, Fantastic Four is going to lose money at the box office. I'm pretty much already predicting that as is, unless the word of mouth and the audience score is just through the roof. And even then, an audience score through the roof didn't save the Thunderbolts, aka the new Avengers. Unless like word of mouth is getting around saying this is just the greatest thing ever, that movie is going to lose money at the box office. Mark my words, I guarantee it. He says that when she rebels against Galactus, she uses some sort of doomsday device as she pulls out some sort of cube-like object and presses it into the chest of Galactus, a la Transformers. It's almost like nobody over at Disney Marvel has any new ideas whatsoever. They just rip off everything else they've seen, which not only kills Galactus, but destroys the Earth and the universe. Oh, no. The Fantastic Four then escape, having failed at saving anyone, and don't even stop Galactus. Oh, that's right. The heroes of the story. Well, it's just another, of course, misunderstood villain that's now going to save the day. And in the process, the entire universe of the Fantastic Four is going to be gone, which, of course, is probably where we see them slip in at the end of Thunderbolts. Me wonders how much they change the ending of this if the end credit scene at the Thunderbolts is even going to matter after they do all of this. The Fantastic Four then escape, having failed at saving anyone, and don't even stop Galactus. It was the female Silver Surfer where I was told she dies, so she apparently sacrifices herself. So the female Silver Surfer was actually the hero all along, boys and girls. Yay! We haven't seen this happen before, have we? In the comics, the real Silver Surfer, Norrin Radd, turns on Galactus, wherein Alicia Masters appeals to his humanity. Her compassion leads him to his compassion, I think we're just getting the females confused at this point. His compassion leads him to defy Galactus and protect Earth. The Rise of the Silver Surfer movie did something similar, using Sue instead of Alicia, where Sue reminds him of his beloved Shal Ball. She doesn't appear until 2 years later in the comics. However, in the comics, Reed Richards stops Galactus by threatening with the Ultimate Nullifier, a device capable of erasing entire universes. Galactus punishes the Silver Surfer by trapping him on Earth. So literally, now instead of having, the guy, the smartest man on Earth, figure it out and get it a way to work it, no, instead, the Ultimate Nullifier is just going to be pulled out of the female Silver Surfer's butt, and she's going to use it to save the day instead of the smartest man in the world coming up with it, developing it, and threatening Galactus with it. No, that never worked. Now, of course, that can't possibly happen. Galactus punishes Silver Surfer by trapping him on Earth. So we see the MCU turns things and changes things, everything to take away credit from the dudes. Color us shocked there. But boys and girls, we're not done with spoilers yet either, because now the brand new baby who looks just like his mom and has powers very similar to his mom in the posters and in the toys, well, guess what? Apparently, he's going to fix the problem, because according to Grace Randolph dropped a bomb that not only does Franklin Richards have powers, but that he's apparently OP as AF and has OP powers that he doesn't even have in the comics. Speaking with Empire Magazine, Vanessa Kirby, who plays Sue Storm, confirms this as she told the outlet. It's not just the adults that have superpowers. Note, the title of this movie hints at this: First Steps, i.e. the baby taking his first steps. Back to Franklin. An action figure gives us the first look where he's a baby. So apparently the baby Franklin Richards has superpowers and is OPAF. Randolph said, I don't believe that Franklin has ever done what he will be asked to do in this movie. I looked it up, and apparently he theoretically could do it. So I was like, is this a new power set? And so I was looking it up, and I was like, oh, it seems like he could technically do it, but he's never done it before. Well, anybody that knows anything about Franklin Richards from the comics, whether you've watched a lore video on YouTube or you were actually there to read the comics as they actually were coming out, or you went back and read them, knows that Franklin Richards literally has like practically God tier level powers, right? He's not at the same level as the one above all, but he's right up there with it. He can basically rewrite and warp reality to his own kind of thing. It's kind of like Thanos with all of the stone, like with the reality stone and stuff like that, right? So Randolph also mentioned that comics he has powers to create reality. So if Franklin's powers in the movie are beyond that, well, do the math. Again, he's a newborn baby in the movie, or judging by the action figure, just a toddler who can't even talk or walk. So what are they going to use as an excuse to say, what, he created the MCU, like he created the primary universe inside of Marvel? I don't know, but this is just going to be another one of those where Marvel is introducing characters that are way too overpowered for the current universe that they've got right now. This is a reason to reach higher and higher. It is, I'm just in this humble common nerd's opinion, it is way too early in this particular universe, inside the Marvel universe, to introduce Franklin Richards. I mean, you're talking like galactic level, universal level destruction kind of powers is what Franklin Richards ends up with. And you're going to start him out with that at baby level? So, like, at what point, like, are you just going to have to reset the stakes here? Is that what you're leading to in Avengers Doomsday? Because at this point, you're just trying to outpower each other, and you're already at a universal scale with Franklin Richards. You really can't get much bigger than that. Like, I don't know what you're going to do. This just doesn't make any sense. It's like they're literally just trying to pull everything out of their butt. Matt says, I'll also throw this out there. So when Sue Storm and female Silver Surfer are having their discussion, which leads to the female Surfer to defy Galactus, what's the reason? What's the cause? Then the female Silver Surfer pulls something out and uses it to destroy Galactus. This also ties in into the post-credit scene. Update. Marvel showed off a scene at CCXP Mexico described as Sue Storm goes into labor on the team's spaceship while the Silver Surfer chases them, trying to capture the baby. To escape, Reed tells Ben to head into a black hole. Well, now that's interesting, because if that's the case, maybe the black hole is what throws them into the Marvel Cinematic Universes, because I'm not calling it the 616. It is not the 616. It's the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Does that blast them into that? Or does this blast them into a completely different universe where then that's the one they blow up with the ultimate nullifier? I mean, we have no idea where this is going. But boys and girls, Grace Randolph is out there confirming Overlord DVD's rumors out there. She's basically saying the exact same thing that Doomcock was. And the most amazing part about this is it confirms everything we'd heard for years at this point, right? Female Silver Surfer. Already got that rumor confirmed from like 3 years ago. Sue-centric story. Got that rumor confirmed for like 3 years ago. Like literally, this is why we talk about this stuff. Because I don't want anybody out there to have the rug pulled over their eyes, right? I don't want you to be fooled or tricked into fancy marketing or cool trailers, right? That convince you to go spend $40, $50, $100 going to see this movie on opening weekend before the rest of the reviews come out because maybe you were sold a bill of goods by what Disney Marvel is putting out there in the marketing. Because I think a lot of people are going to end up feeling like that after they go see this. The trailers are pretty much universally liked. They're not getting ratioed into oblivion by any means. You know, they're pretty positive other than comments about like the female Silver Surfer and stuff like that. Me personally, I hated that first trailer. It confirmed everything I knew, or everything I expected from this movie, that it was going to be a Sue-centric story, that Reed was going to be made to look like an idiot most of the time, and that she was going to be the bestest ever. It was going to be all about wham and power forward. And now it looks like even more of that has been confirmed by Grace Randolph herself. Not exactly somebody that's sitting in the corner, sitting in the bleachers rooting for the Fellowship, right? Not exactly somebody that's doing that kind of thing. And so once again, boys and girls, the Fantastic Four, absolutely nothing is going to change. And this is also essentially confirms what Chris Gore from Film Threat said last year after all the layoffs happened as well. We might get a good Fantastic Four movie. Well, according to visually, it looks like it'll probably be very wonderful. It'll be very pretty to watch. But the story, just like all the rest of these stories we've seen out of Marvel over the last few years, is going to be more of the same MCU nonsense over and over again. It's all going to be wham and power. The girls are going to talk about their feelings, and all of a sudden, Silver Surfer is going to turn out a Galactus and pull a MacGuffin out of her behind, her rather small and weirdly looking behind in some of those new posters out there, and shove it into Galactus, destroying the entire universe. So the Fantastic Four isn't going to save the day. Reed's just going to be another idiot man sitting on the sidelines, not actually doing anything or saving the day. It's going to be all about the whammon and even the test screen audiences. The Disney Access media that showed up called the ending mid at best. And I'd imagine there probably were a few boos out there considering how many fans out there absolutely love Fantastic Four and want the first family to succeed. But boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, if you thought the Fantastic Four was going to be anything different than what we have seen from the MCU over the last few years, well, I've got some oceanfront property in Arizona to sell you. But for all of you wise folks all there, all of you people that have woken up to the insane, disastrous dumpster fire that is Kevin Feige and Bob Iger's Disney Marvel, well, then you know. And now you're even more aware of exactly what we expected the entire time. Fantastic Four is going to be a disastrous dumpster fire. It is going to fail at the box office just like every other MCU movie and television show has. And now All of the rumors once confirmed all over again, and now it comes from Grace Randolph herself, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic Four, all of the rumors confirmed. It's MCU to the nines, and it will be a disastrous dumpster fire at the box office. And I cannot wait to see how many massive changes they've tried to make to save what's probably going to end up being a nasty giant turd. Polish it all you want, Disney. At the end of the day, we know you squeezed it right out of Marvel's ass.